Hello, thank you for taking the time for yourself again and stopping by. Let's explore together today where our strength hides and how to add a little lightness to our every step. Tell me, does this feeling sound familiar? Towards evening, your feet are aching, feeling like you've walked miles and miles, even if it was a quiet day. Or perhaps you've noticed the skin on your feet becoming drier, developing some unpleasant cracks, or just an inexplicable discomfort. This isn't just fatigue, my dears. As we age, our faithful workers, our feet, need special care. Circulation isn't as brisk as it was in our youth. The skin thins, loses moisture, and nerve endings can become less sensitive. This means small wounds take longer to heal, and the risk of picking up a fungal infection or other issues increases. And yet, our feet are our support, our foundation. Imagine your feet are the roots of a tree. If the roots are weak, dry, or diseased, can the tree be strong and flourish? It's the same with us. Neglecting foot hygiene, wearing uncomfortable shoes that subtly pinch day after day, or simply getting into the habit of ignoring the little things. All of this, like tiny pebbles in your shoe, quietly but surely undermines our well-being and can even shorten our years of active life. But there's good news. I promise you that by adopting one simple, completely unburdensome habit, you will feel more confident, lighter, and your feet will thank you. We're going to talk about daily foot washing, but not just any washing, rather a mindful practice, done with self-love. It's so simple it seems insignificant, but believe me, the effect will surprise you. Stay with me until the end, and you'll learn how this simple ritual can become your secret to vitality and health for years to come. So, where do we begin with this care? The very first and most important rule is to make washing your feet a daily habit. Not just a quick rinse under the shower as you rush by, but dedicating a few minutes of mindful attention to them. Simply wash your feet with warm, not hot, water and mild soap. Let me tell you the story of Arthur, who is 78. Arthur was always an active man, a bit old school, considering any kind of pampering unnecessary. Feet are feet. Why wash them every day? I'm not a delicate lady, he would grumble when his wife advised him to be more careful. He would just quickly rinse them in the shower, and that was it. But over time, he started noticing an unpleasant itch between his toes, and his skin began to peel. At first, he brushed it off, thinking it would pass. But the itching intensified. Redness appeared. It was a fungal infection, likely picked up in the communal changing room at the swimming pool. He visited a couple of times a week for his health. He became embarrassed to take off his shoes when visiting others. He started avoiding trips to the pool he used to enjoy. Internally, he was angry at himself, at this stupid ailment, feeling somehow unclean, even though he had always been meticulous. His wife convinced him to see a doctor, who prescribed an ointment and strictly ordered him to wash his feet daily and dry them thoroughly. Arthur initially gritted his teeth, another chore, but he started doing it. He simply washed his feet every evening before bed with regular baby soap. Do you know what happened? After a couple of weeks of treatment and daily hygiene, the fungus retreated. But more importantly, Arthur suddenly realized how pleasant it felt to have clean, fresh feet in the evening. He admitted to his wife that he even started sleeping better because that subconscious discomfort and shame had disappeared. Why did this work? It's simple. Daily washing removes sweat, dirt, and, most importantly, the spores of fungi and bacteria that love warm, moist environments, especially between the toes. It's like daily weeding in a small garden. You remove the weeds before they have a chance to grow rampant and choke your flowers. For you, my dears, the benefit is clear. You protect yourself from unpleasant and sometimes hard-to-treat infections that can cause not only discomfort, but also more serious problems, especially if you have diabetes or circulatory issues. So, let's give our feet this simple protection. Just a few minutes for your peace of mind and comfort. And since we're talking about how to wash your feet, one detail is very important, the water temperature. Use specifically warm water, not hot and not cold. And if possible, add a light foot massage right while you're washing them. This might seem trivial, but for some, it has been a real lifesaver. I want to share the story of Eleanor, who is 82. Eleanor is a lovely woman, but in recent years, she was constantly bothered by cold feet. Even in summer, she slept in warm socks, and in winter, her feet were simply icy. Sometimes she felt tingling, pins and needles, and this worried her. She feared it was a sign of poor circulation. "It feels like the blood just doesn't reach them, frozen somewhere halfway," she complained to her daughter. She tried rubbing her feet, but the effect was short-lived. Internally, she felt anxious, afraid of potential vascular diseases, and it cast a shadow over her days. Her daughter read somewhere about the benefits of warm foot baths before bed. Eleanor was skeptical. What can mere water do? But she decided to try. She didn't do full baths, but simply during her evening foot washing, she started using pleasantly warm water and gently massaged her feet and toes under the stream for a couple of minutes. At first, she didn't notice much difference, but after a week of regular practice, she suddenly realized her feet weren't as icy before bed. After another couple of weeks, she slept without socks for the first time in a long while. The feeling of warmth in her feet became more consistent, and the unpleasant tingling almost disappeared. How does this work? Warm water, around 37 to 38 degrees C or 98 to 100 degrees F, causes the small blood vessels, capillaries, in the skin of the feet to dilate. This improves blood flow to the tissues, helping them receive more oxygen and nutrients. A light massage further stimulates circulation and helps relieve tension. Imagine a frozen stream in spring. The warm sun, in our case, warm water, melts the ice, and the water flows freely again. Similarly, warm water helps wake up the circulation in your feet. What's the benefit for you? Improved circulation helps combat the sensation of cold feet, can reduce swelling and fatigue, improve skin nourishment, and even promote better sleep. Try turning your foot washing into a small spa ritual with warm water. Your feet will be grateful for this gentle care. And while you are so carefully washing your feet with warm water, massaging them, you have a wonderful opportunity to do another very important thing: inspect them closely. Your eyes are the best tool for early detection. Every toe, the skin between the toes, the sole, the heel, the nails, everything deserves your attention. The story of George, who is 75, is very telling in this regard. George was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes a few years ago. His doctor talked a lot about the importance of foot care, but George, frankly, let it go in one ear and out the other. What's there to look at? Feet are feet, he thought. He washed them in the shower, but never looked closely on purpose. He was sure that if something was wrong, he would feel it. But with diabetes, sensitivity often decreases, and you might not notice a small cut or abrasion. Fortunately, his nurse at a routine checkup was very persistent and practically made him promise to inspect his feet every day while washing them. George started doing it without much enthusiasm. Well, he looked and looked. But one evening, while drying his foot, he noticed a small red spot on the sole near the base of his big toe. It didn't hurt, and he definitely wouldn't have noticed it if not for the deliberate check. He remembered the nurse's words and decided to see the doctor just in case. It turned out to be the very beginning of a diabetic ulcer. Because George noticed it at the earliest stage, the problem was quickly managed with a special dressing and offloading the foot. The doctor said that if he had waited another week or two, it could have ended much worse, possibly leading to a serious infection and hospitalization. George was shocked and grateful to the nurse for her persistence. He realized that his eyes were his first line of defense. Why is this so important? With age, and especially with conditions like diabetes or atherosclerosis, the risk of skin damage and infection in the feet increases sharply. And due to potential loss of sensation, you might simply not feel the problem in time. Daily inspection allows you to notice the slightest changes: cracks, calluses, blisters, changes in skin color, ingrown toenails, at the earliest stage when they are easy to treat. It's like a ship's captain who inspects their vessel every day to ensure everything is in order before setting sail. Your benefit? Early detection of problems prevents pain, serious complications, costly treatment, and preserves your mobility and independence. Don't be lazy about taking 1 minute for inspection. It's an investment in your health. After you have thoroughly washed and inspected your feet, the next important step follows. They need to be dried very well. Not just a quick swipe with a towel, but pat them completely dry, paying special attention to the areas between the toes. This is exactly where moisture likes to accumulate, creating ideal conditions for fungus, as we discussed with Arthur's example. And then, if you notice that the skin on your feet is dry, prone to peeling or cracking, Be sure to apply a little moisturizing cream. Listen to the story of Margaret, who is 80. Margaret always prided herself on her activity, but in the last couple of years, her heels started bothering her. The skin on them became very dry, and deep, painful cracks appeared. They snagged on her socks and sheets, sometimes even bled. It was painful for her to step on her heels, especially in the morning. "I feel like I'm walking on broken glass," she complained to a friend. She had tried different creams from time to time, but without much success. Internally, she felt vulnerable, afraid that infection would get in through the cracks, and this constant pain reduced her desire to leave the house. Her friend advised her not just to apply cream, but to make it part of her daily ritual after washing her feet. Margaret decided to try. Every evening after her warm foot wash, she began to pat her feet very thoroughly with a soft towel, paying close attention to the skin between her toes, and then applied the simplest moisturizing foot cream she found at the pharmacy to her dry heels and the entire foot. She did this methodically, every day. Within a week, she noticed her skin felt softer. After a month, the cracks were noticeably smaller and stopped bleeding. A little while longer, and they healed almost completely. The pain when walking disappeared, and Margaret could enjoy her walks again. Why does this work? Thorough drying deprives fungi and bacteria of their favorable moist environment, and moisturizing cream helps restore the skin's moisture barrier, making it more elastic and resistant to cracking. Dry, cracked skin is like parched earth during a drought, defenseless against external factors. Moisturizing is like a life-giving rain that restores its strength and integrity. What's the benefit for you? You get rid of the discomfort and pain caused by dryness and cracks, prevent the risk of infection through damaged skin. Your feet become soft and well cared for, and your gait becomes light again. Don't forget to pat dry and moisturize. It's a simple step towards great comfort. And now, when your feet are clean, dry, and cared for, you can turn this whole process, washing, perhaps a light massage, applying cream, into something more than just hygiene. Try making it a mindful evening relaxation ritual, especially if you have trouble sleeping or just want to relieve tension after a long day. David, 77, had always been an energetic person, but as he got older, he found it increasingly difficult to fall asleep. He would toss and turn, thoughts racing in his head, sometimes experiencing an unpleasant, restless feeling in his legs. "It's like an engine inside won't switch off," he described his state. He tried drinking herbal teas, reading before bed, but often it didn't help. He would go to bed already anxious about not being able to sleep again, creating a vicious cycle. His wife, Emily, suggested he try a warm foot soak before bed, or simply spend longer washing his feet in warm water, focusing on the sensations. David dismissed it as another woman's thing, but Emily was persistent. She would set up a small basin of warm water for him, sometimes adding a drop of lavender oil. David would sit in his chair, put his feet in the water, and just sit like that for 10 to 15 minutes, occasionally massaging his feet gently. He tried not to think about anything, just feel the warmth of the water, its gentle pressure. To his surprise, it worked. After just a few days, he noticed he felt much calmer after this procedure. The unpleasant sensations in his legs decreased, and the thoughts in his head seemed to slow down. He started falling asleep faster and sleeping more soundly. Why does this work? Warm water and gentle foot massage have a relaxing effect on the nervous system. This helps lower the level of the stress hormone cortisol. Furthermore, the ritual itself, a repetitive, pleasant action before sleep, signals the brain that it's time to prepare for rest. Imagine your day is loud music, and the warm foot bath is the volume knob you smoothly turn down, creating peace and quiet. What's the benefit for you? It's a simple and pleasant way to relieve accumulated daily tension, reduce stress, improve sleep quality, and even alleviate restless leg syndrome. Gift yourself these few minutes of quiet and warmth before bed. It could be your key to good rest. And finally, summarizing all these tips, from simple washing to relaxing rituals, it's important to grasp the main idea. The health of your feet is the foundation of your activity and independence for many years to come. This is not an exaggeration. Let's remember Helen, 85. Helen adored her small garden behind the house. It was her refuge. but in recent years, it became increasingly difficult for her to tend to it. Her feet tired quickly, calluses often formed from her gardening shoes, and sometimes the joints in her feet ached. I used to be able to potter in the soil for hours, but now half an hour and I need a rest, she said sadly. She started going out less, walking to the shop less often, although she used to enjoy a stroll. She felt like she was losing her independence, becoming a burden. Internally, she worried a lot about this, feeling older and limited. Her daughter, noticing this, convinced her to pay more attention to her feet, not just washing, but also inspecting, moisturizing, and choosing comfortable footwear. Helen, following all the advice we've discussed today, began to care for her feet daily. She noticed that calluses appeared less often, the pain in her heels subsided after regular moisturizing, and warm foot baths relieved fatigue. Gradually, she was able to spend more time in the garden, first an hour, then an hour and a half. She started walking to the shop again. These were small victories, but they restored her sense of control over her life and the joy of movement. Why is this so crucial? Our feet are our transport for life. Any discomfort, pain, wound, or infection in the feet limits our mobility. And reduced mobility in older age is a direct path to muscle loss, deteriorating heart and lung function, risk of falls and fractures, social isolation, and depression. By taking care of your feet, you are taking care of your ability to walk, stroll, engage in favorite activities, and be independent. Your feet are like reliable wheels on the car that carries you down the road of life. If the wheels are in good order, you can travel far and enjoy the journey. What's the benefit for you? By maintaining foot health through simple daily care, you preserve your mobility, activity, independence, and consequently, a high quality of life for many years. This isn't just hygiene, it's an investment in your active longevity. Keep your foundation strong to confidently move forward. So you see, my dear friends, how much benefit can come from one simple, unassuming habit: daily foot washing with love and attention to yourself. It requires neither special expense nor tremendous effort. It's a small act of care available to every one of us. You have lived long, fulfilling lives, accumulating invaluable experience and wisdom. You deserve to feel good, comfortable, and confident at any age. Remember, taking care of yourself is not selfishness, but a necessary condition to continue enjoying life, connecting with loved ones, and doing what you love. Don't postpone this simple care for later. Start this very evening. Gift your feet a few minutes of warmth, cleanliness, and attention. You will feel the difference, I promise you. Take care of yourselves. Cherish every step you take, because you absolutely deserve a life full of lightness, comfort, and the joy of movement, day after day. Thank you for being with me. Until next time,